Mhm. All right, what's going on? Can everybody hear me and see me okay? Let's check this out. How's my mic volume? How's my camera? And how are you guys getting on? Is it lagging, by the way? Just let me know if it's lagging. You do. Okay, hey Ryan, yes, that's good. Chances are other probably will as well. Well, let's see who else is here and just see if we can get at least a couple more people to get in, and we'll just start just doing whatever. There's no particular plan, nothing, just chilling because it's Easter. So everybody's just chilling, having some meals around here. I just ate already, so won't be eating for camera. Hey Martin, what's happening, man? Haven't seen you post any new artwork for a while. You've been good? Busy, probably? Because I've been pretty damn busy. This is a new setup, if you haven't noticed. Hey, what's up, Z? What's up? Yeah, new setup right there. And this is in a new place as well. So I believe I may have mentioned it on a forum, well, on the server. But I've moved to a new place with the rest of the family. We moved in a different place now, which is great. It's allowed me to do some new cool things. I just need to sort a few things out, and we can get back to business as usual, doing all this stuff. And I think this is gonna come back to normal now. So streams are definitely gonna commence. Recording videos is gonna depend on my time and availability. So I'm trying to paint some of my models because I haven't had any orders for quite a bit while I was moving. I'm expecting some to come in. I already have a few on their way. But before they come, painting up my Leptoceratops. That's from my own collection. I don't know if you can see it very well because camera just doesn't make things look very well, to be honest. But yeah. So I'm gonna get him painted, and we're gonna give him some, varnishing where needed, because he's got what he got. Yeah, the eyes are still, as you can see, so you don't have the eyes yet. And once that's done, then varnish, and then it's done. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 more models of my own to paint. Not counting the Lepto. I've got 6 more that I still need to do. So that's going to take a little while. I have yet to cast some extra parts for the Allosaurus. The campaign has already closed because I haven't had any donations for a while, and that's fair because everybody who really wanted it already got it. So, yeah, I'm going to upload the listing on the Etsy, so the prices are going to be the normal retail. So anybody who wanted it for the discount now can only do it if they have managed to contribute back in the days when the campaign was live, and when they got the discount vouchers. I think I have at least 1 or 2 people who have managed to get the VIP, so they're gonna get quite a bit of discount. But yeah, that's it. So what else has been happening? Upgraded my PC a little bit, as I said in the server. Planning to upgrade to Windows 10, so that's going to happen very soon, I hope. And when that happens, we are going to start playing some games like the Sea of Thieves specifically. I also noticed that Chris, or you know him as Grims on the server, he has posted a link to the video of this other game where you can create like a sort of animal mutant kind of character. Ah, sorry, itchy nose. And yeah, would be interesting to check that out. John wanted to play Shogun Total War, so we'll do that sometime. So there's going to be some stuff going on with games, I think, because I do like to chill and play sometimes. You know, I don't like to do serious things quite a lot. I just kind of, it gets tiring, especially, you know, not going to do it for a while because everything else has just been a bit of a headache. So once that's over, then maybe I can get back into the more kind of serious stuff. But we'll see. So, what else has been happening with you guys? Who else is here? I see 1, 2, 3 of you have commented. There's 2 other people that I cannot see yet. So, who are you? Who is your daddy and what does he do? Uh, oh, oh. Yeah, I don't see anything come up. And now it says 4, so yeah, it seems to be jump. What are my thoughts? Well, if there's no evidence, there's no evidence. I mean, there were sauropods that lived there. Nemegtosaurus lived there. It was similar size to Tarbosaurus. Reasonable to assume they would have hunted because, you know, it's not like they were out of their league or anything. So, might have even been potentially easier to get, who knows, than a Dinochirus or something. I don't know. Possible. There's no evidence, but, you know, they coexisted, so. Jacob? Who's Jacob? I don't know any Jacobs. Who were you referring to, Carlo? I don't think I know any Jacobs. The only Jacobs I know are the shades that I'm wearing, Marc Jacobs, which were given to me as a present from my ex-girlfriend a long time ago, which I still have because they're really nice shades. That's why I wear them. But that's the only Jacob I know. So, you meant Josh. Maybe, yeah. We'll see. If he's available and if there's something to talk about, maybe. It's not just about bringing someone on just for the, you know, for the fuck of it. It's just to, you know, if there's something to talk about, then there will be something to talk about. If there's nothing to talk about, then there's nothing to talk about. It's really that simple. So, not much more to it, really. I really want to get myself some more these big, you know, display cabinets with glasses on. Of course, gonna look very nice, you know, when you have like models for display and stuff like that, because that's gonna be the only time and place where I can fit them in. Because behind this thing right there, that gray thing that you see, that's the background. It's a backdrop, so to speak. It's not really a wall, basically. There's like a whole room behind there. It's just the reason why I don't want to do it like that, because I don't want everybody to see what my bedroom looks like, because there's no point. So, yeah, they did kind of overemphasize that part a little bit. I mean, technically, it's not entirely wrong. It's just that they emphasized it a bit too much for my comfort, personally. I mean, Josh decided to call it a mushroom head, but we all know that it's actually testicle head, really. You know, every time, if you're ever going to be rewatching the Primeval series, it's going to be all about, you know, looking back at this and be like, yep, testicles, yep, totally testicles, yep. Yeah, lots of craziness been going on though out there. Not necessarily on our end of things, as far as I can tell. Just general stuff. I've been wanting to see Kong versus Godzilla. Well, Godzilla versus Kong actually, and I haven't got around to it because, well, movie theaters are not open here in the UK, and uh, I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. I don't want to get into that because I stay away from these topics here. And but let's just say, depending on how things go, I might or might not be able to see it in the cinema. And if I'm not, then well, I'll just have to find other ways to see it because I'm really curious to see what the fights look like. I know for a fact that the story is pretty crap. I've heard it everywhere, and I'm not really bothered because it's just the way it is. I'm not bothered by spoilers. I know kind of what's going on. I mean, if you've seen my video about it, you know that in the trailer, me and Josh discussed that we knew for a fact that Mechagodzilla is going to be in it. So, oh, hello from Ecuador. Oh, okay, nice, nice, nice. Don't believe I've ever actually had anybody from that area come here. So, welcome. I don't know if I want to subscribe to HBO Max, to be honest, because what's the point? Carlo, I just referred to that earlier on. I don't know if you noticed, but I just said that already, that I haven't watched it. I know the spoilers, but I don't, give or take, but I haven't actually seen it. But anyway, no, never mind. Maybe he stepped away for a second or something, or took his things off. And what else was there? Spots or stripes? I don't know. Maybe neither. I mean, why does it have to be spots or stripes if it could be just neither of them? It could just be plain. You don't know. We don't know, really. So, I mean, is it possible to have either spots or stripes? I mean, I don't think there's a possibility to have both. They don't tend to do that, really. Mammals, cats specifically, of the same, species, breeds, whatever. They tend to be different. So I'd probably say one of them is true. Which one? Plain spots or stripes? I mean, it's not like it's a democracy, so I can't really put it to the vote, can I? No, I can't. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm trying to drink a lot of water, so. So yeah, Kong vs. Godzilla and Mortal Kombat as well. That's the other one I've been really looking forward to. I haven't seen a fun Mortal Kombat film for a while, specifically because, well, I'm a fan of the franchise, of the lore, but this might be the first time they might actually do something much closer and true, to the lore. Because even the 1995 movie just wasn't really that close to the lore at all. It was not lore friendly whatsoever. It was just, if you think about it, it was a shit film. It's just like one of those shit films that I actually love. That's what it was. Just like some other projects, related to that in the media. I love the movie, and the soundtrack, but it's objectively shit. There's just no way around it. Mm-hmm. Lots of animes watched recently as well. Lots of fun stuff out there, really. I mean, there are some old titles, that I keep discovering that I know probably everybody who's into anime has already watched, and I'm just sort of like, yeah, 5 years after, 5 years behind everyone else. But some really cool stuff, though. Some of them are fairly fresh and new as well. I've been enjoying Attack on Titan as of late as well, to be honest. I cannot wait till they gonna finally put the part 2 for season finale. That's gonna feel like forever. It's still gonna be like this year, I think. But yeah, this is gonna take forever to wait this long. I cannot. I don't think I can do it. I'll have to. Yeah, it's on my list. I have like, let me see. Hold on a second. Um, okay, out of the ones that if I exclude the ones that I have already watched, how many? I think the list of things that I still have to see from anime. They approach about 100 titles, and Jujutsu Kaisen is among them as well that I'm looking into. I mean, I'm going to eventually. Right now, I'm watching. What's the name? Oh my god. Let me see if I can read it in Japanese. I'm actually learning Japanese. I only recently started, but I'm still struggling with the proper, with grammar and pronunciation. I need to expand my vocabulary and learn the basic alphabet. I'm still kind of on it. So, Haito Genso no Grinmar, something like that. Haito Genso no Grinmar, or something like that. I'm obviously butchering it, but that's basically that's still it's something to do with Green Mar. It's like a fantasy. I think it's an isekai anime kind of thing. It's where they is that what it's called, right? It's where they end up in a parallel kind of world type of thing, like in a fantasy universe or something like that, or almost something that feels like a game. So it's basically like on the same kind of trope as Log Horizon, Sword Art Online, and whatever else you can find out there of similar type. And that's the one there as well, one of those. So that's what I'm on right now. I recently finished the one that's called it's like a romantic comedy-ish thing. What's his name? Tada doesn't fall in love. That's a really nice one. I loved it. It's amazing. I like these kind of things. Oregairu, amazing. Teasing Master Takagi-san, fucking hilarious. Loved it. So what else? There were a couple more. I mean, maybe I just didn't really find them as memorable as these ones, but those ones that I just listed, enjoyed it a lot. There is another one. Hold on a second. What's the name? Starts with an H. It's also a high school kind of romantic comedy sort of thing, Majigi, but it's really good. But I can't remember what it's called. I'm terrible with remembering names and titles, honestly. So I'll have to have a look to see if I can find it. Hold on a second. I want to try to find it because in case you may have seen it as well or not, you should check it out if you. Oh yes, Konosuba. Oh my god, Konosuba is fucking love. I love this. It's probably one of my favorite things. What's the other one that I really liked? I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, if I find it, I'll tell you. Oh yeah, there we go. Horimiya. That's a nice one as well. But Konosuba, if you haven't seen it, strongly advise you to watch it if you want to just have a good laugh. Just don't try to take it seriously because it's meant to be ridiculously funny. That's what it is. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not an expert on the Cenozoic stuff, so I don't know. I can't comment on anything you're saying there. Well, okay, you've heard that, so okay. Cool. That's all I can say. Sorry. Can't be of much more use here. So tell me what else been happening. Anybody started any new projects or anything like that? I've been seeing a few things going on the server, and I noticed Diego has been doing quite well for the Polio art. Aram has been pumping stuff out as well, so that's good. I'm going to be starting a new project soon as well. I want to. Well, I mean, I've done a poll on Instagram, and Minotaurus, the Ankylosaurid from Mongolia, that's the one that won in the results. So we're going to do that. It's going to be amazing. And it's going to be quite small, I think. Let me see how. So let me just try to trap the tape. Yeah, so roughly this size. So the length of the tape that I extended, that's probably what it's going to be like. So that's not big at all. So no problem there. I don't know if I feel quite brave enough yet. What the fuck? It's broken. Shit. The tape broken, apparently. Look. I didn't see it first. It's broken. There we go. But yeah, I don't know if I'm quite yet feeling brave enough to go for something bigger. And but I'm definitely up for making a few maybe smaller pieces for now. I also have to cast Hatzegopteryx as well for a kit because I've got a pledge for it, but the campaign didn't get all the funds that I wanted, but it might be enough. Excuse me, it might be enough to get it. So. Yeah, I don't know, Isaac. It's hard to say. I mean, I haven't heard of any specific finds of these things to actually be able to refer to it. It could, as you said, it could just be a hypothesis, to be honest. Ryan, I honestly don't know how to answer that. All dinosaurs had a pretty hard life, I can tell you that. Harder than us. Just put it that way. Definitely harder than us. And much shorter than us as well. But yeah, Isaac, I'm not sure really whether that's just something that, was also an invented trend or there was actual premise for it. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked into sauropods, especially into these nitty-gritty things as much. But based on what I've seen, I haven't noticed anything. Jeffrey, if he was here, by the way, would have been nice. He could clarify this. I'm pretty sure he already clarified something of the sort a long time ago, but I just can't remember it. There's got to be something that was out there, but yeah, it's either there is something out there that may have been found, but it could also be the fact that it's just a trend as well. So if it's just a trend, then, well, you know me, I don't give a fuck. If it doesn't have evidence, I don't care. I'm not. It's paleontology. It's not a fucking fashion show. So fuck that. But if there is actual premise and reason to believe that there was something, if there was evidence, then yeah, sure, why not? I'm like that with everything. It's just that some people get offended at that, and it pisses them off. And I've been doing this for years, as far as I can understand. So why stop now, right? So, yeah, exciting times ahead. Just gotta get all the stuff sorted, all the things settled in, and I decided to do some other interesting things. Hold on a sec, I'll pull this out of the cabinet and I'll show you what I'm up to. So basically, for my collections, I just decided to do these kind of things. I don't know if you can see it, but let's try to maybe pull it back a little bit. fuck. Yeah, there we go. So the idea is that, as you can see here, it shows the country, it shows the time period in the brackets, and obviously the species name in the bold, and the diet. So we've got a few of those. So say, for example, if you have something like a baryonyx here, so that's what it's going to look like. If and when I either buy a model kit of baryonyx, or if I make my own, which I try to, I'm thinking of doing. And that's the one for Hatzegopteryx, which is what I'm going to be making anyway. So, and is it going to focus? Please, camera, don't be a bitch. There we go. Yeah. And I have a whole bunch of these. I have a few of them already on display, so not ready to show it off yet. So I've got 2 more items delivering. I've got Anodontosaurus lambe and Lithronax on its way as well to my collection. Dryptosaurus, I mean, to be honest, it's not really that well known of a taxon, to be honest. It's really poorly understood and known. It's got fragments. So I don't know if I really... And there's not really much interesting about it, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, unless there's going to be a big amount of interest, I don't have any particular reason why I would want to do it, I mean, it's not that it's out of the question. It's just there are so many other more interesting theropods that I would like to do instead of something as rather, plain as that, because there is nothing particularly known about it, and it's kind of just there's just so much more exciting to do out there with animals and dinosaurs, especially, than Dryptosaurus. Sorry. It's just how it is. If I'm going to do in fact, I'm going to tell you what I want to do from theropods. Yeah, I know it's from New Jersey, but it's just not very well known taxon. It's got, I think it's what, New Egypt formation or something like that. So yeah, the theropods that I'm probably most interested in doing I definitely want to redo Ceratosaurus, because I did an old one, but it had really bad proportions. So I want to redo a better proportions Ceratosaurus. I definitely want to do Giganotosaurus, Tyrannosaurus, Tarbosaurus as well. Baryonyx, Suchomimus, Rajasaurus. Rajasaurus would be really cool to do, to be honest, because that's the one that has never ever been done, and it's actually known from a pretty decent amount of material, like from a skull and stuff. So, I mean, I would love to do that. If you talk theropods, Kianjosaurus as well, the Chinese long-snouted Alioramen Tyrannosaurid. That would be pretty amazing to do that one. Actually, I would love to do that. I mean, there's a lot of other things in terms of the Gorgosaurus is an idea, because Mike is going to be doing Albertosaurus, because he's mainly doing the Horseshoe Canyon formation animals, which is fair enough. But I'm kind of trying to do as many outside of America. There are just a few of them that I want to do from America, and that I have already done as well. But generally, I want to sort of focus more outwards, more on Eurasia, maybe Africa, South America, stuff like that, with a few exceptions. As I said, from America, I would definitely love to do Tyrannosaurus, Ceratosaurus. Gorgosaurus is a potential option as well. Teratophonius as well, if you talk theropods. So yeah, other than that, really, it's mostly the Eurasian and African. But I think before I go into any carnivores next, I'm probably gonna do a couple herbivores. I want to do Minotaurus first, and then maybe do that Japanese Hadrosaurid, Kamisaurus, and then see which carnivore I might pick up after that. Once I'm kind of okay and wanna try maybe go bigger, I might maybe do something like a. Um, in fact, you know what? Baryonyx might be still okay. It's kind of best to work on, so I might do that. So we'll see. No, what makes you think I would ever want Tyrannosaurids with quills? There's no reason to support that idea. They don't have them. So why would you even like how long have you been on my channel, dude? Like seriously, sometimes you ask things that I just don't understand how you come up with these things. Like why would I wanna make a Tyrannosaurus with quills? I'm just curious, how did you come up with that question? So let's quickly check Discord to see if any more people might show up later. I hope at least, but no. Okay, so somebody might. Happy Easter, by the way. Forgot to say the obvious. I mean, it's meant to be an Easter hangout. So, well, if you've been around here 6 months, dude, you would definitely know, and for sure, if you caught up by now, that yeah, we don't support this idea here because, well, there's no evidence to support it. Tyrannosaurids were scaly, full stop. You want to claim something else, you can prove it if you want, but you won't be able to because there's no evidence to prove it. So if you want to prove it, find it. If you can find it, then you can prove it. So there's that. Oh my god. Been wanting to eat, even though I only ate about 1 hour ago. My god, I can't stop eating. I don't know why. Oh. Yeah, we might be expecting a couple more people maybe to hop on if we gonna. How long is it been? 32 minutes. So we'll see how long I'm gonna stay for. I'm not sure, but see how that goes. But yeah, I've been wanting to make a Tyrannosaurus sculpt for a long time. I've been kind of mentally preparing for it because it's really one of those things that I really really want to try to nail. But I'll need to get materials for it as well. Something quite strong for the armature. I need to be quite clever about how I build it as well because it built my into oven. So yeah, there are those things to bear in mind. But we'll see. I'll definitely make a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't care what it's gonna cost me. I'm gonna make one. That's the only one I'm willing to make, even if I know for a fact that it's gonna probably be quite crazy. But yeah, that's the one I definitely want to make. Oh my god, it's getting a little bit hot. Give me a second, I'll open the window. So what else is gonna be happening soon? Anybody know if we're gonna see Prehistoric Kingdom released properly soon, or are they just still getting things ready? Anybody knows when we can expect them? Love to see their game finally being out. Get something new to play. How doing? Happy Easter to all the ones who just made it. I hope you're eating very well and drinking lots of water, mainly. Because I don't know if you're legal. Some of you might not be legal to drink yet, so I don't know. Depends where you are, I guess. I am legal to drink anywhere because, well, I'm way past that point. But anyways, I hope you are having a good one. And, well, I'm probably doing something after I get off the stream anyway. I feel like I'm going to say, no, I'm a PC guy, so I don't really care if it's gonna be on any console. But sure, if it's gonna have more platforms, I'm pretty sure that's gonna get more people in it. John, what makes you think so? Just how did you reach that conclusion? Hey, Rand, what's up? Nice to see you. Happy Easter, man. By the way, is this your real name, John Toyama? Could I ask also a question? If it's not, if it's no problem, don't answer if you don't want to. But just curious, are you Japanese by any chance? Yeah, Tour of Organics. I'm imagining that's gonna be a bit of a nightmare. I would probably go crazy. Oh, okay. So what if it's? Let me see. Hold on a second. I've got a timer here somewhere. So right now it should be. Wait. If you're from Tokyo, that's like 20 to 6 a.m. Is that roughly the time? What are you doing up so early? I guess getting up to work or something. Which means Ohio gozaimasu. Yeah, should bow as well. I'm trying to learn Japanese, by the way, in case that's the reason why I was asking for the time, because apparently it depends as well, when you say good morning and then you say konnichiwa, konbanwa. I'm still working on my pronunciation, so I'm pretty terrible. So don't hate me for butchering it, please. I'm trying. Yeah, cursor one on console, man, is gonna be. That's why I don't even want to imagine it. I just play PC because consoles are just not for those kind of games, in my opinion. You just, it's much better to just play on PC. To be honest, I mean, it depends, of course, on why I want to learn it. Well, why not? I just like the culture. I like the history. I like the people, based on my experience, at least so far, that I've had. It's very limited, but I'm really interested in it. It's a beautiful place as well. I want to go there someday, and as part of it, I want to learn the language so I can actually experience it at its full potential. I guess that's it, really. And who knows? Maybe I might just find myself a second home there, or maybe I might, meet my future wife. Who knows what's going to happen? That's the place that I haven't actually explored yet properly. I would love to, but to do it, I'd best learn the language, because it's a lot more convenient to speak their language when you're there, because there are not many English speakers over there, and it will just be much easier to bond and understand the local people and actually talk to them, because they are more open to people who can speak the same language, because as far as I know, many people misunderstand. They think that they are they don't want to talk to you because you're a foreigner, but that's not really the case. The reason why is because maybe a lot of them, they're not very good at English or whatever possible language that you might be speaking, and they kind of, they would feel a bit embarrassed, and they kind of don't want to, it's like they don't want to cause trouble, if you know what I mean. But although it wouldn't be a trouble, but it's just maybe the cultural sort of way of thinking, the way they are, based on what I heard from other Japanese people anyway, or those who have experienced Japan. So I think that if I learn their language and I can speak it, not only will it be just really cool to learn another language, but also it will be really cool if, because apparently there are only 100 Armenians currently, to my knowledge, who live in Japan, which means I could be potentially the 101st Armenian to ever speak Japanese. So that's pretty insane, actually, come to think of it. So yeah, but I'm really like nowhere yet. I can understand some things better. I am really bad at pronouncing. I haven't got it yet. I need to really train to pronounce the words properly, and once it gets stuck to me properly, once I become less conscious of it, I think that's when it's gonna start going. Because that's what happened to me in English when I first started. When I was overthinking too much of everything, I was trying to translate everything to Russian because I speak Russian as my first language, and when I which basically answers one of your other questions there, Torvaganix. So I speak Russian as my first language. I understand my native ancestral tongue, Armenian. I can understand it, but I don't really speak it as properly because, well, I wasn't raised to to speak an Armenian language, unfortunately. But that I can sort of, make out things in Italian, Polish as well, Ukrainian, because a lot of them, especially Italian, is just very easy to understand overall if they don't speak too fast. But what's it called? The Polish and Ukrainian, they have some, very. Yeah, I can understand a bit of French as well. Again, it depends how quick. Aram, my friend Aram, who is also a moderator on my server, he speaks French fluently because he lived in France as well. Mosasaurus, no, I don't intend to. Not my interest. So, at least not for now. I'm not really that invested into Mosasaurus. French, German, Spanish. I mean, I used to learn Spanish and French back at school, but it was only for a very short term, and it hasn't really stuck to me properly. So I can only say a few words there and then, and in German as well, I can say a few basic words, but I don't really know it, to be able to have a conversation. And if somebody's going to be speaking, I'm going to be, because when they speak naturally, they speak fluently, they speak fast, they have their own unique accents, depends where they're from, and I'll just not be able to understand anything. I am picking up Japanese quite a bit now because I start to recognize vocabulary, so I can sort of, because I start understanding the grammar and how the sentences are built. Something like really basic about, when they talk about food, or something like that, they say like taberu. I mean, like, and you can just basically say, if it's casual, obviously, you could just say taberu, to ask if you want to go something to eat, or like if you want to eat noodles, like ramen taberu, and they will just be like taberu. So like, yeah, let's go eat or something like this. So I can understand those kind of things. And same in like German, guten Abend, guten Tag, guten Morgen. What else? My cousin actually is married to a German guy, so she speaks fluent German. But when they speak, I cannot understand much. Yeah, you already said that, Toyama-san. But what about it that led you to that conclusion? What I mean is, why do you think that should be a thing? I understand that that's what you think. That's the theory you think. But why? I want to understand how you actually came to that conclusion. Yeah, I know some other words as well, like neko, that's cat, because, well, I mean, I do like cats, so that was one of the things I definitely remember quickly. Then tori, I think tori is a bird. What else is there? Well, ramen, obviously, that's noodles. Suppu, I think suppu is it's a soup. And Mm, there were quite a few things, Well, I mean, sushi is just sushi. We know what sushi is, and there are things, like there are a lot of clues when you look at in like restaurant menus or takeaway menus. There's a lot of names sometimes that they actually use as Japanese names for food that give you, like unagi, that's eel, ebi, shrimp, or prawn, or something like that, and sake, that's basically both a drink and salmon. There's like so many different things. Oh yeah, yeah, carrot, kakaru. I think it's a kakaroto. But like if I were to say something, I don't know, like if I am, I don't even know if that's actually even correct to say that. But if I talk to somebody, but casual, not formal, not keigo, but casual, if I find that it's a bit too fast, then maybe I can say something like chotto mate or chotto mate kudasai. That's like please hold on a second or something. I don't know. Toyama-san, let me know in the comments. Is that okay to say that, or am I being a prick? Do I sound like an asshole when I say that, or do I not? That's what I'm trying to know, because it's such a contextual language that I still don't understand. It's so many things of it that, it would be. Jeffrey, by the way, speaks Japanese fluently, so he can sometimes gives me a few exercises to kind of practice talking a little bit, but I'm still nowhere near where I can even make proper sentences. So yeah, but learning languages is awesome. I would love to, if I ever yeah, but how would that necessarily dictate that they have to have uh, filaments? Like, why is that somehow related to it? Because look at it this way. So look at it this way. So you have a lot of animals that live in these conditions, but they don't have scales or feather. Well, sorry, they don't have feathers. I mean, or quills, but they can be scaly. Alligators, for example, they live in winters too. Lizards do. Snakes do. Dinosaurs did as well, actually. So that is one thing. Well, first of all, feather Nazis don't exist anymore because the group is disbanded. As for Christian apologists, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not. I don't discuss these kind of topics here, but even though I am an atheist, I don't have any problems with people believing in what they believe in. Your beliefs are your own personal business, none of my business. So, no. Oh, okay, so it was correct then. If I say chotomate kudasai, that's yeah. So hold on a second, please. Yeah. Arigatou gozaimasu. We have more physical evidence for scales on Tyrannosaurus. Yes, we do. In fact, we do. Not more, we just have only those. We don't have any evidence for filaments for Tyrannosaurids. So there is no reason to suggest that they would have that. I think this is where I disagree with Bell et al. In how they were trying to link gigantism to the fact that there was no, that led to them having, uh, what was I going to say? Led to them having the scaly integument. That's what I'm trying to say. And yeah, I just think that they kind of weren't focusing on the right things in there. Like, I don't quite agree that that's necessarily what dictates it, because, well, ornithomimids lived in variety of different climates, whatever. That didn't stop them from having, filaments, even though ornithomimids, as you know, some of them, well, not ornithomimids, ornithomimosaurs, because that's a bigger inclusive group, which includes Dinocyrus, a Dinocyrid. So those, they got pretty big, and they belong to the family, which you would say 90% chance that they were probably all, exhibiting some kind of primitive feathers or filaments or whatever. And the question is how sparse they were because of the size, but they wouldn't have, scales on their bodies like Tyrannosaurids do. So that's another clue for you. And also, Toyama-san, I advise, if you haven't already caught up with my content, look at this video here. Maybe because this is the one where we kind of dive in. I'll throw a link anyway, so you can save it if you haven't watched it yet. But it's an interview with a very good friend and also a paleontologist who specifically focuses on things like, the biological sort of aspects of things, so he's actually very knowledgeable in the biology and evolutionary developmental aspect of it. So I'll drop that here. So that's the link to that video. So check this out whenever you have time. It's a second part of the interview though, but the first part is kind of a different topic anyway, so you can watch both of them or you can watch just one of them. So yeah, Dr. Thomas Carr has made it very clear as well, but his main stances are solely based on opinions. He doesn't actually examine the arguments and why it would really not make sense for them to have it in that sort of arrangement. Jason, in the video link that I have posted, actually examines these things, and he does it so much better than I can. Well, because he's more literate in science as such than I am, and that's why he's better at explaining it than I am. I can only give you like half of small part of it, but I cannot give you the full picture to really give you a very nice on point sort of thing. Oh, you're a new subscriber. Welcome. Welcome to the house, Rex. The king himself here is greeting you. So yeah, Torvo, I agree. These debates are getting a little bit crazy sometimes, and they get a little bit tiring because it's all the same stuff. You have to explain to those who haven't caught up yet why it doesn't work like that. It's just too much. That's why I have multiple people do it. So yes, welcome Armand. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for subscribing and supporting, and I hope you enjoy your stay here. As I say, everyone, what's that? The lips debate is great. Yeah, it is. It's neither here nor there, to be honest. I don't even understand why people even decided to come up with this trend. It just came out of nowhere. It's almost like they're trying to resurrect the old school, interpretations of them looking like lizards. Why? Like, there's no evidence to support that. There's no precedent or premise for it. None of the claims they make can actually be proven when you ask them to actually link it directly. How do you prove that that's really why it is? Like, have you tested these things? Or did you just hear someone say it and you just assume that was true? But then, of course, instead of actually going to the full length to do the legwork, they think that I'm some kind of a asshole who just doesn't like what they're saying. That's not the point. I mean, I don't have a problem, Like, for example, that I don't support the filaments presence in these animals, in Tyrannosaurids, for example, and many other theropods that were not really, because filaments were not the norm. That's what people don't understand. And but it's because I don't support it, and I see, like, for example, like Toyama-san, for example, said that this was this. I wasn't going there to quickly go, oh yeah, you're wrong because of blah 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 blah. I'm not here to bombard him with these different things. The whole point was that I'm trying to get him to think and kind of backtrack on how did he come to that conclusion and what led him to believe that theory is true. Because when I first started asking these questions myself back in about 2015, I kind of thought that something doesn't quite add up. It just seems like it's only something that I heard, but I never actually tested this. So when I started testing it, I kind of thought that there is actually not enough to support that at all. And then more and more descriptions came out, and we kind of start seeing that that's actually not the case at all. So read Whedon's blog post. Oh yeah, of course. Because blog posts, they are the sources for science knowledge, right? And I mean, don't get me wrong, you can sometimes write a really good article there. It's just that, don't try to tell me that that's scientific knowledge. If it hasn't been tested, if it hasn't been scrutinized properly, then, that's not scientific knowledge. And of course, there's many other things like journals where they should be published, multiple, preferably, credible, preferably, whatever defines it as credible, because that's a long conversation as well, which I don't want to have because it's too long. Then dromaeosaurids were feathered, right? Well, the ones that we know of were they all like that? Maybe, maybe. I don't know. I'll probably say yes. So it depends, I guess. I don't know. Because there were many dromaeosaurids too. I don't know, man. It depends. Because with feathers, the reason why I find feathers a lot more complex than scales is because when you know that it's scales, the only thing that you really look at is what shapes they were, sizes they were. Maybe there were patterns or something, that were different. But and they're also a lot more prone to individual variation. Depends on how old the animal is, on just generally weird phenomenon like you see. Like you see in different scaly animals, like crocodilians. But oh my god, drinking a lot. That's what it is. Sorry, but yes. When it comes to feathers, there is more complexity because of how different types of feathers can be either very simple or they can be extremely complex structures, and telling which ones are present on which taxon or genus, whatever, that's just a lot more complicated, in my opinion, than it is when it comes to scales, for example. So there is that. And let's see what else. Do you think it's possible that other raptors who have yet to be to have physical evidence for feathers could have filaments of a different kind? I don't want to jump to any speculation, but curious. I think it's possible. Yes, it's definitely possible, because as I said before just now, it's very it's one of those things that they could even be both feathers, but it's just that there are different types of feathers, and which one or which ones, because you can have multiple types. I think there are known to have some multiple types of feathers in certain areas. So I don't even know if Tyrannosaur mummy is going to end it, because there will be people out there who will say, yeah, but it just lost all the feathers somehow. There will be people who will say this. There are people who are interested in having an open, objective discussion, and there are people who just want to believe what they believe, no matter the cost. And those are the people you will never be able to have any conversation with. Sleep of reason produces monsters. Well, that's what it is. Because there are people out there who just don't want to have a reasonable conversation. So what do you expect from there? Mommy is not going to help there. So I don't know. We'll see. I still want a mummy though, and I want a 6-foot-long T-Rex skull. How I know Tyrannosaurids are not feathered? Because you have no evidence to support the idea that they are, to begin with, and because there are many scaly impressions from variety of different parts of the body, which is where, if the animal was feathered, we would see feathers, we would not see scales. That's two things. And first and foremost important is that when you are coming up with a claim, you are the one responsible to prove the claim's validity. I don't have to prove anything if I'm rejecting your claim, because the burden of proof lies on the claim. Positive claim is always the one that carries the burden of proof. That's the basic etiquette of anything, of science. That's how it works. Innocent until proven guilty, to make it more simple, so to say. Now I know Tyrannosaurids are not feathered. Well, based on our current understanding, no, they're not. If something changes, if we miraculously discover that we've been wrong the whole time and it was completely different, maybe. but I don't think that's gonna happen. But I could be proven wrong. We don't know. No. It's a new place completely. We've moved to a different place. So because you came a bit later, so you missed that part. But yes, that's a new house. Now let's see. Dakota Raptor favorite dinosaur. Well, the thing is, Dakota Raptor is a poorly known taxon, as far as I understand. I've got a moth in my room now. I need to close the window and get that thing out of here ASAP because, well, first I need to get it out of here because it's gonna start eating shit. Okay, I'm gonna murder that moth whenever I can later, but I'm gonna close it for now because I don't want to let any more of them in. So let's address some other questions if this moth is not gonna distract me all this time. What is your favorite dinosaur from JP in terms of design? Design, T-Rex. That's pretty much it. I don't know. It's hard for me to say at this point because their designs to me are as much of a fantasy as they are on anything else. Hang on. Wait. You fucking... Got him. Get the hell out of my house. Oh shit. I clicked on something, didn't I? No, it's all good. Right, sorry about that. I had to get this moth out of my room because I hate intruders who come without invitation. Make a fucking appointment next time you want to fly in. Anyway, where were we? So, Martin, like you said, it was a woodland animal, so we think it had some kind of patterning like spots, stripes, or... Yeah, it's hard to say. And the other thing is as well that they could be different types as well. We don't know if they were restricted to specific patterns, because remember that animals, especially reptiles, are known to do this. They do shed their skin based on the environment they live in. It's like there's some kind of thing that they have about it that if you suddenly change the colors of the environment, they're gonna, start shedding it and then regrowing their skin with the scales according to that environment as well. So what else? Does the burden of proof lay on no lips hypothesis? No, it's the other way around. The burden of proof is still on the claim that there were any lips present, because nobody has been able to prove it yet. So the burden of proof lies on the positive claim. No, lips were not first, because nobody has ever found any proof that lips were present in dinosaurs. Well, lips, quote unquote, extraoral tissue. So therefore, the burden of proof still lies on that claim, because nobody has been able to prove it or support it with any evidence yet. Smilodon populator, on the other hand, was a plains animal, so it was probably plain-coated. Oh, you were addressing the spots. You were talking about the Smilodon. I see. That was the earlier question, because I thought you were talking about dinosaurs for some reason. So I was discussing it from the context of dinosaurs. But yeah, that's fair enough. T-Rex did not have any facial ridges that JP T-Rex had. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You're talking about on the nasal, or what? What do you mean? I'm not sure. You monster. I'm not a monster. I didn't kill it. I just stunned it so it would slow down so I could catch it, and then I told it to get out, to shoot, because it was going to start eating my clothes. I don't want my clothes to be eaten. It's going to be fucking embarrassing. So now, perfectly reasonable. Still reasonable. Right. So... I want to know more about dinosaurs and what they were like from areas that we don't really know a whole lot about in certain time periods. Like, I want to know more about the late Maastrichtian, prior to extinction, maybe where, I don't know, in Japan, in Europe, even, South America as well would be interesting to know more of. Like, not just Argentina, which we know few things of, but I would like to see a lot more of it, like overall, because I'm pretty sure there were dinosaurs in other parts as well. We know that there are from Brazil. There probably were some in other South American countries, so I'd like to know more about that as well. Australia would be interesting to know if there were any specific things that were from late Maastrichtian prior to extinction. It's really interesting to see what the world actually would have looked like, back then in the other parts than Asia and North America. Well, North America specifically, because even in Asia, not the whole picture is complete there yet. Well, the eye ridges, you mean what? The brows, they were just not that pointy. They were not that pointy. They were shaped entirely. That's the only thing. They were more kind of bulky, rounded IRL, not like pointy the way Jurassic Park shows it. And the Jurassic Park also doesn't show any bumps on the lacrimal crests that were not very prominent, but they were still there. They were just very bulky, like not pointy like the Daspletosaurus or Albertosaurians, but still kind of very bulky. But JP doesn't actually show that very well. What's going on? Nothing much. Okay. Concavenator from Spain. Yeah, that's a Spanish dino. Europelta as well. Would be really nice to make a Europelta model kit, by the way. Like that's the sort of animal that I would like to do as well, because nobody has done it. And it's one of those things that you don't get to see a lot. But it's quite interesting. I really like the idea of looking into more Eurasian species of animals. Because mostly dinosaurs, they're associated with North America, and not many are really known and given as much attention from outside of North America. Obviously, because it's most well known, and because we get a lot more specimens to study them there, because it's just more developed in that field. But it would just really be cool to kind of have something outside of that as well. Like that little Lambiosaurin from Morocco, Ajnabia. That's a cool thing. I want to make that kit as well. And I hear foxes screaming outside as well. They're probably either fighting or fucking. I don't know what they're doing, but they're screaming like crazy. Every night. Oh. But isn't Patagonia kind of part of Argentina? And yeah, maybe they're having like, a rough sort of fetish, like sadomaso or whatever the fuck. Like, why are we even talking about this? I don't understand. I just made a quick joke and now we're starting to discuss this. Torvo, what are you doing? You're trying to expose my bad side to the viewers? Like, what are you trying to do here? Well, I mean, maybe it's too late for that anyway, so. But yeah, let's see what my Daspletosaurus would look like. I wonder if it's better under this type of lighting. Yeah, it's a tad bit better than my old one, I think. So let's see if it's gonna focus. Yeah, sort of focusing. 'Cause, Yeah, that's Michael's Daspletosaurus staurosus. It's a little bit skinny though for a Daspletosaurus. I mean, this would have been really good enough for something like a Gorgosaurus or Albertosaurus, in my opinion. It's a little too slim for Daspletosaurus, but it's nice. It's still nice. If he remakes it, I'll get a new one as well. Alright, got two other dinosaurs I've painted from my collection. Both of them are Michael's. So a Pseudoceratops. Yeah, exactly. It should have been beefier. So and Anchiceratops as well. So there you go. Just trying to make sure that I get it right on the camera. Okay, let's put them back in their cabinet. This is what I want to paint next, by the way. This 1:20 scale Acrocanthosaurus model. I really cannot wait to paint this. It's going to be pretty amazing. How do I become a paleo artist? Well, you mean how did I become, or how one does it? I would say, you just do it basically and just try to follow the data, really. Just the basic idea is to understand what paleo art is. Paleo art's objective is to use art to reconstruct and represent the animal, if restored to real life, based on the most available and verifiable, quantifiable empirical evidence. That's basically what it is. It's meant to reflect that, and that's what it is. If you can do that, then you can pretty much say you're a paleo artist. And of course, knowing how to do something, whether it's drawing or sculpting, that can qualify you as a paleo artist. Got a chance to get Wilson the PNSO Lipless T-Rex, the new one. I might get it, but I'm not sure when, because right now I'm more focused on getting kits. Well, right now I'm actually more focused on saving money. So the reason why I got Anodontosaurus and Lythronax is because, well, it's between me and Mike, but we kind of, we had something kind of ongoing there. Like, he owed me a couple pennies basically, so it was kind of, I got it really cheap as well. So that's pretty much it. But other than that, I would not have probably been able to afford it yet if it wasn't for that. So there's that. And yeah, so I don't know when I'm gonna get the PNSO Rex, because it's a lovely model, but it's not on top of my list at the moment because I'm a kit guy. I prefer to collect and build kits. in 1 to 20 scale as a consistent scale because I like to put them together next to each other. I don't think he does illustration as of now, but he said it's possible he'll do it in the future. Yeah, I might do. I do want to learn to draw again. I want to do it, but I just don't know when. It's just not enough hands to do everything, you know? Is this acro accurate? It's like, it's probably not the best model out there for accuracy per se, but it's the only one I know that I've seen in 1 to 20 scale that was A, the most affordable, B, comes from an artist who I absolutely adore, and C, it's reasonably accurate, but skeletally accurate, anatomically accurate, but it's very dated because it's a very old model as well. A lot of people don't talk about Acrocanthosaurus anymore. Well, I mean, yeah, it's as correctly pointed out below, it's kind of in the shadows of Giganotosaurus, Carcharodontosaurus, Mapiosaurus, the bigger ones. Although, come to think of it, like Acrocanthosaurus wasn't that far off from these, because Tyrannosaurus was considerably bigger because of the mass and stuff, but and taller at the hips as well. But Giganotosaurus maybe kind of okay. Carcharodontosaurus, I'm not sure because we don't really have a lot of the body parts, but Mapiosaurus was not that heavy. Actually, it was closer to Acrocanthosaurus in size as well. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a very interesting one. Long neural spines, you know, this whole very cool looking design. I also think that that model is a tad bit bulky, but the way I'm gonna paint it is I'm gonna try to maybe pick the colors that are gonna make it look a little bit smaller than it actually is. So maybe gonna go for some kind of darker colors, perhaps. So we'll see. I'll think of something. Tyrannosaurus by PNSO is quite nice as well if you haven't seen it yet. That's a very cool model. And I think they've made a Carcharodontosaurus that looks kind of cool as well, but I'm not sure if it's the same scale because some of their models are not really consistent with the scale, and that's kind of annoying. That's why I don't like that sort of thing. That's partially why I'm not a big figure guy, because a lot of the figures there are not scale consistent, and I like them to be all in the same scale so I can put them together. Oh my god, excuse me. Well, pterosaurs are just not dinosaurs, period. Not technically or any other way of looking at it. They're just not dinosaurs. They're different things. So Quetzalcoatlus, well, it's one of the biggest. It's not the biggest because we don't know how it compares. We don't have that many specimens of itself and other animals like Hatzegopteryx or Amburgiania, Criodracon. There's some other ones that are popping up, so there's quite a lot of them, and they're probably all about the same size. I think the ecology of Acro is really cool. I want a figure company that creates the whole fauna of that formation in 1 to 34 scale. Yeah, 1 to 34/5, maybe 1 to 40 even, if you really want to have a space to fit it properly, you know. So, yeah, you could say that makes sense. You know, it's a very nice idea. Not something I'm gonna do because I'm working in 1 to 20 only, and I just produce separate models mostly. Sometimes I will probably try to make some bases that are more scenic for some kids, but I'm not gonna go completely ham. I'm gonna go a bit ham on T-Rex though. Other than that, I'm gonna be just fairly conservative because it's more for the illustrative, educational comparison type of purposes. I mean, if I can ever make a collection, I'll tell you what. If I can make a collection of 100 species in 1 to 20 scale, maybe I could even start running an exhibit of some kind, like an educational sort of learning exhibit. See if I can maybe get some donations, maybe sell some of my own things as well. Maybe even outsource and sell some other people's kits in the process too. So could be a way to make some extra cash and maybe even get people to know me a bit better. That would be a nice thing. I'd love to do that. Just travel around the whole country and then maybe later down the line just go to foreign countries as well for the same thing. But of course, foreign countries, that's going to be a bit expensive because you have to put them in different suitcases, arrange for the transportation so they don't get broken, ship them to maybe a specific address where you can, well, yeah, it's going to be crazy. So, how long has it been already? It's about an hour. Yeah, it's almost an hour and a half. Okay. So, anybody wanna maybe do some quick questions and answers, and maybe we can call it, because I don't want to stay on for too long. So if you want to do questions and answers, we can do that quickly, and then we can call it a night. Yeah, that's what I want to focus on. I want to try to do that, and that's what Michael is doing from Canada. So we kind of try to coordinate. Like if he's doing things like Horseshoe Canyon formation and plus some other random North American stuff, mostly Canadian, but some other American as well things, then I try to stay away from those so that, I can focus on other areas instead. And he's got some really nice ones coming out soon. I cannot wait. Oh my God, I cannot wait. He's gonna have Edmontonia longiceps coming out soon. He's gonna have Albertosaurus, and I think he's gonna have what else? Triceratops prorsus. I've not seen people make a kit of Triceratops prorsus yet, not to my knowledge anyway. Or maybe there was one, but I just don't remember it. Torvosaurus. Oh, car. Well, okay. Let's do quickly answer the car video question. The reason why is because I haven't been driving around as often lately. That's the only reason. Because back then I had more reasons to travel with a car. Right now, I just don't, because not a lot of stuff to do outside right now. Everything else is local as well, so there's no reason to drive. And that's the only time, because when I was doing these car videos is because I was waiting for things for a long time or for somebody. I had too much time on my hands, so I just did a random car videos. But yeah, I can do a couple, maybe. We'll see. Now let's go back up and Torvosaurus. Well, there is a kit, resin kit in 1 to 20 of Torvosaurus Tanneri, that I want to get. I really want that model. It's done by the same artist who made that Acrocanthosaurus back there, and I really want that. And I already think I know how I'm going to paint it, but I haven't decided yet. But I want that model. So, yeah, that's definitely going to happen. We're going to have a Torvosaurus. So, yes, we're having a Torvosaurus. And what else? I mean, to be honest, I would be really curious to see if there was more Portuguese species of Torvosaurus gournei. That would be really nice. I would really like to explore those species a bit more. And I believe there was another European species that has not been identified because it's only been from teeth. So, not sure. It could be Gournay as well, but I think it was based somewhere around Germany. No, not with the sauropod baby. Let me see if I can find. Hold on a second. I'll share a screen and can you see this? Hold on. Why is it not zooming in? Let's try to zoom in here then. Here. Can you see this? There we go. Yeah, this is the kit I want of Torvosaurus. The only thing I'll do is I want to adjust this area here because of the shrink wrap fenestre, because it's an old model. Other than that, I'm really happy with the anatomy. I've seen the original specimen from the picture that the artist showed me, and it's actually very interesting how similar it came out to that specimen. So definitely want this one. So yes, as I said, we're going to have a 1:20 scale Torvosaurus. It's going to be smaller than that Acrocanthosaurus, of course, but I would expect it would be about this size overall, this kind of length. So about 50 centimeters, roughly, maybe 50 something. If it's based on a 10-meter long estimate, which I think it is. So yes, I'm definitely going to do something about that one. This might actually be my next, one of the next kits that I might get from this artist. Like, I'm really tempted. I'm tempted to get his other kit, the Creosaurus, the sauropod with a short neck from Africa, from Tanzania. But I'm kind of more inclined towards the Torvosaurus, to be honest, because I love carnivores, so. I don't remember at what point it was divided into islands. It's hard to say. I'm really bad at this. Sorry. I'm not being very helpful, am I? Yeah, I can do that. Let me see. Hold on a second. So one of the ways I can do a video is of this guy. That's a Utaceratops made by Mike. And it's currently just spray painted with a primer. And the other one is also made by Mike, but it's a Borealopelta. And I have actually recently painted a Borealopelta before, so I can maybe do a tutorial on painting either one of them. So it depends which one. It's likely going to be one of those things that I'm just going to probably just show different different pictures of layer by layer and then just explain what I did. It was an archipelago. Yeah, okay. There we go. That question got answered. Thank you very much. Very helpful. So, um, oh, I mean, I'm planning to paint my models anyway, so I might as well just do like a step-by-step, photo shoot of it, just to show how I do it. I did something similar actually with my with the Leptoceratops, I believe, a long time ago. I think I sent it as a, I think it was as a partial exchange with somebody, or it was just a contribution for someone. I can't remember what it was for. But yeah, I definitely remember doing a tutorial for it. Or no, 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 no. I think it was for my, that was for a customer. I think it was for a customer. I was doing a series. I was doing a paint job to show how to do it, and I think it was for a model for a customer or something like that. But let me see if I can find some of my pictures for the painted models. Oh, actually, I got a better idea. I'll open my Instagram account just a second. Profile, come on. There we go. So let's share this. Can you see this? Yeah, I think you can see it. That's the Borealopelta that I painted. That's for Michael. And that's the Utaceratops that I painted for him. Yeah, sure. Yes, I can do that. So, I mean, let me go back to the. I'll just try to see if I can find a good example. Well, I mean, Borealopelta seems like a good example for that, actually. Let me just see if this shot seems to be the best for it. So, so to give you a bit of an understanding here, just to at least use this example, you see how basically it has a gradient, right? Now, the way to achieve the gradient effect like that is you start off with a primer of something that is probably best to be described as a light kind of ivory beige color. The one in particular I used, I think it was, what's it called? It's a Citadel Wraithbone. So I think, let me just go from Games Workshop, but I don't buy it from their site, I buy it from Discount Shop. So don't look at the prices here, because obviously yeah, this color, Wraithbone. Let me just quickly show you. I'll bring it up in a second, just a second. Let me just quickly show where the paints are. This one. So this is the range. It's from Games Workshop, Citadel, and it's the Wraithbone. But probably the one you would look at would be this one, Spray. Don't look at the price here, because obviously it's I buy them on a discount, but for some reason it's not been available for a while. I don't understand why. So let's go back to my Instagram again. So yeah, as I said, for Boreal Pelta, you would, or something similar like that, you would be doing that one, and then what I would do is use um, use an ink, find like a small kind of cap of some sort where you can put a little bit in, but only a couple drops. Don't like pour it in, but only a couple drops. Do it bit by bit, Don't like overflow. And then you put like you have a brush, not maybe this size, maybe smaller. No, not this. Wrong. Come on, open. Fucking hell, open up for fuck's sake. Yeah, there we go. Like this type of brush. I don't know. Let me see if I'm something like that sort of thing. So it's an average kind of big size brush, but it's small enough for what you need anyway. And you put a little bit of ink on top and you kind of just apply it to the surface. And then what you do is, to get the gradient done, you use the piece of, sponge like that, like a foam, and you carefully start kind of rubbing it like downwards a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And it creates this nice gradient effect. So you just find the suitable colors, and I can give the full color code for almost everything here that I can remember at least. But I think what I'll do is I'll do a fresh one when I do my own, and I might be able to better give you a color code for that. Now, for dry brushing, it's the same idea, but it's slightly different in the sense that you are not using inks for dry brushing. You're using actual acrylic paint. And what you do is you take a little bit of it, make sure that your whole tip of the brush, like the whole tip, is covered with the paint, then release a little bit on the paper or whatever you're using for your palette, just to make sure that it's not over excessive. And you carefully just apply it, like, if you use this, let me, for example, for a second, stop screen sharing. So let's say if I want to dry brush this guy here, so I would just go like very carefully, but very, very light strokes like that, So, and then I would eventually get the needed effect on that. Anyway, I want to go back there because I want to show off a little bit more, and then after that I'm probably gonna go. Because I don't want to keep it for too long. I want it to be reasonable length. So share screen right here. And I think this is the one you were talking about, right? The Tyrannosaurus. Yeah, that's the one I did for Michael. And that's the one I did. Same model, by the way, but it's for that's for a customer, based on Julius Xatoni's piece that he did a long time ago. And what else do we have? Let's see. Well, there's Star Wars stuff. There's a couple of kits before they were painted. That's one of my own pieces. That's the Achillosaurus. It's one of them, done for the customer. And what else do we have? That's an Anchiceratops. Same model that I've showed you a few minutes ago, but it's just painted differently for a customer from Germany. It's like this kind of pattern on a frill. And of course, my Allosaurus. That's the only one I've had painted so far. I need to paint my own Allosaurus model as well. Here. Actually, let's see if the video shows up as well. I don't know if you can see it properly. You should be able to see the video. It's from a different angle. It's just some random shots of it. Glossy effects, they are quite easy to do actually. They the way to apply them is you use gloss varnish, but you have to be careful because you need to be very precise. So you use a small enough brush size so that you very, very carefully just apply it only in that area, because once you apply it there, it's gonna be stuck there. So it's like you would have to then spray it with a matte varnish or semi-matte, like, or satin, whatever, and then apply the gloss again. But then you're gonna have too many layers already, so that's not a good thing. So that's why you have to be very careful. Yes, the gloss varnish, I do it at the very last step. So what's gonna happen basically is, let's say when I finish, since I already finished the colors on the body and everything, what will happen next is I'm gonna paint the eyes in whatever color, and then after I've painted the eyes, I'm going to spray the whole thing with a satin varnish, and after that's done, once it dries and everything, I will do gloss varnish on the eyes, and that's it. But I'm glad that you are getting into, or at least you're looking into the idea of getting into repainting figures, because you know, to be fair, I have no problem repainting figures for people, but I do like to teach people to do it as well. You know, it would be really nice to see if there are people who really want to do it. Then, you know, I'm happy to share some of the ideas. But yeah, if anybody wants a figure repainted, I can definitely do a job for you. Of course, you know, I have to charge because I make a living of this kind of thing, sort of. But it's not going to be nearly as much as maybe for a kit, because kits tend to be a bit more expensive to do because you have to assemble them as well. Ankylosaurus, let me Google it. Hold on a second. Saurian Ankylosaurus color scheme. So let me find a really good image for it. Right. So it's possible to do. It's not too difficult. It's just gonna take a long time. Basically, see, my main concern is the osteoderms, not here, but mostly on the body. Because if you want to replicate this particular pattern, what you'll have to do first is you'll have to do the yellows and oranges, try to get the gradient there somehow. And once you do that, then you apply the blacks on top. But these effects are much easier achieved if you have a bigger sized model. It's going to be very difficult on something like this. Hold on a second. something like this, the PNSO, for example, Ankylosaurus, it's possible to do it, but it's very tricky. As a matter of fact, I might have to repaint my PNSO Ankylosaurus because it's got a few bits there of a paint that is rubbed off, and I don't like the paint job on here on this one anyway. It's a bit dull. So but no, I mean, it's possible to do this. It's just gonna take long, and that's one of the reasons why I charge more for armored dinosaurs, because they just take a lot longer to paint, and because it's more time consuming, therefore costs more. For a PNSO model repaint, it depends which one. As I said, it depends which one. Because if you want to repaint Ankylosaurus, let me have a look again. Sorry, I keep going back and forth. So something like this. Dude, I don't know. I don't want to lie to you. It's not gonna be cheap because it's, if you really want a very, very good quality job, and I can do that, I can guarantee that. But definitely $50+, maybe more, maybe like 60. I would probably say that's the sort of thing I would probably be comfortable for this kind of piece. For another model, like say if you were to ask to repaint, like a smaller piece of some kind, like say if you wanted, I don't know, to give you a comparison. Like say if you wanted me to repaint this Eofauna Giganotosaurus, it's not as, it's about the same-ish bulk, maybe less even bulky than Ankylosaurus, but it's just longer. But it's a lot easier to repaint. So I would be saying, maybe like $40 for this one, like for a really nice detailed job, maybe even 35. Well, 40 to be honest. 35 is a bit too cheap, I think. So let's see. Saurian tricolor. Yeah, I mean, that one I can do for about $45 maybe. I would say I'm okay with $45 for that one. Like, I'm not gonna go like Ankylosaurus, like, going 65 or whatever, something like this, because that's not gonna be as painful as that. It's much easier. So yeah, I can do a trike for about $45. And I can definitely make it look very nice. I mean, of course, whether or not it's gonna be 100% identical, it's hard to say, because sometimes the tone and shade can slightly be different because of the colors, the paints, but it will still look very nice. But I mean, of course, yeah, it's not something. Here's the thing: this hobby, it's not like buying figures where the prices are different in terms of the minifigures. I mean, those type of things. They are already, PNSO are considered to be expensive line of figures, but as for a figure, I am more in the realm of, when it comes to pro repaint, you're going to be looking at something like those kind of prices, and I'm not even charging a lot. I'm considered to be relatively cheap by the standard in terms of like pro repaints. Some people might probably say that I'm charging a lot, but again, it depends who you compare to. I have my price set based on the fact of where I'm living and what I need in order to be able to actually make it impactful and meaningful from the job. Because even $45, that's good enough for me to pay for my phone bill for a month, so that's already okay. And that's kind of how it works. But let's Triceratops saurian. Let's have a look. Hang on a second. I'll share the screen. Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a complex color scheme, but see, the model of trike itself, it's not complicated model, because the problem is not the color scheme itself. The problem is more, when it comes to complexity and what determines the price, it's the complexity of the model. The color scheme is not the problem itself. It's more to do with yeah. So as I said, yeah, it's one of those things. It's Tarkia and Ankylosaurus are similar but different in some. Well, they are very different. Now here's the thing, Toyama-san. The problem is with Tarkia, you have at least, I think. Well, first of all, you have two species of Tarkia that are known, and the other thing as well is, I think it's only known, positively identified, at least, and associated with a skull material. Because whatever, hey, take care, man, thanks so much. And yeah, I know what you mean. It's okay. I get you. I hear you. And thanks for coming. Happy Easter once again, and I'll speak to you soon. See you in the server or something, or on the channel, and whenever I upload next. But so back to the Ankylosaurids. The problem with Mongolian Ankylosaurids is that unless you find articulated specimen of a skeleton, and there are body parts known, there is a tail club with a tail known as well, there are like parts of armor, but many of them are not certain which actual dinosaur it belongs to, whether it's a Sycania, whether it's a Minotaurosaurus, or whether it's a Tarkia, or whether it's Zarapelta, or Pinacosaurus, I think, has already been found. We already know that there is specific skeletons with the skull and everything. But those other ones I just listed, yeah, good luck trying to find them if you haven't found the skull with the skeleton. So it's quite hard to say, but they would be very different, quite a lot, because first of all, Ankylosaurus is huge. It's a tank. It's big. It's like considering by conservative estimates, they range within like 7 to like 8 meters in length, maybe 8 probably is considered to be more conservative actually according to latest paperwork that's done by Victoria Arbor. And the other thing that's interesting about them is that you look at the skull differences. One thing that's important to understand about how Ankylosaurus can be easily set apart from anyone else is the orientation of the nostril of the skull. So there's an important thing to point here. Luckily, this PNSO model has incorporated the feature, so I'm going to use a toothpick, sorry, for a pointer, because that's the pointiest thing I have right now. You see the head. Now, here, I believe, where is the nostril? It's somewhere, yeah. I think it's right there. Yeah, there it is. That's the nostril here, right? Come on, focus. But anyway, the point is, it's here. on every other ankylosaurid that we know, they are at the front. So that in itself already tells you quite a lot about the fact that they would have been significantly different in how, their biology would have worked. And what it tells us as well is that Ankylosaurus just decided to, show off a little bit and decided that he's going to have more armor at the front, and thus the nostrils are going to be rather facing forward. He's going to be using them sideways now. So that's the idea. So there is that. And yeah, I mean, I actually can find some. Hold on a second. I've got a few skull diagrams, I believe. I should do anyway. Let me see if I can find some. No. Thyreophora. So if I can find so that's Tarkia's skull. So let me quickly share it. Mm-hmm. So as you can see on the on this picture, see the nostril area. That area in the at the front, it's more fleshy area. Or actually, give you another very good example, and that's what I'm going to be using as a guide in many ways too. So let's stop sharing for a second. I want to show you Minotaurosaurus because that's going to be my next project anyway, so might as well show it. Where is it? Here it is. I got it. See that front bit? That's not what Ankylosaurus would have, and that's what all other Ankylosaurids, at least based on currently what I understand, seem to be having. Oh my God, wait a second. Let me see if I can read this. I'm still terrible at hiragana because I just recently started. But did you type in arigatou gozaimasu? Is that what it reads, Tayama-san? I think that's what it reads because I mean, oh yeah, you did say thank you as well. So yeah, I think that's what it is. Let me know. Is that what you wrote there? That's the Keigo basically for thank you. So let's see when you, because messages seem to be catching up. Oh yeah, cool. I got it. I need to get used to obviously associating, the characters with the sounds. Once I get used to that and start actually reading them, and maybe whenever I watch any Japanese films or anime, whatever, start using their subtitles, the Japanese subtitles, so that I can at least understand some words more and start kind of linking that connection a bit better. I think, I think I've spelled, or I tried at least. I don't know if you can, you can probably see it. Yeah, there we go. That's I think how my name would be spelled in Japanese, or something like that. At least I think. So yeah, once I learn it a bit better and feel more confident, then I'll be maybe inviting some Japanese artists as well, polio artists specifically, and maybe talk about what here. That should be, well, I mean, it's all it's all backwards, but it should read as Arusen. because there is no R. I think it's just Ru, so I would probably sound like Arusen, which is actually much closer to my real life name pronunciation than anybody can say in English. Well, John, took you long enough, but yeah, we've been here for 2 hours. Anyways, now that John is here, we're gonna do something very special because John, since you have been particularly very helpful as of late, especially, and your effort and contribution has been recognized by myself and by a lot of fellow moderators. Yes, you guessed it. You're about to get knighted, so let's get the sword. Okay, so by the powers granted to me as King of House Rex, rise Sir John, Knight of the House. There you go, you're a knight now, and now let's make you a moderator. Okay, let's go quickly to YouTube. And I will do that shortly as well on Discord. So, congratulations, John. Everybody applause. We got a new made man now. So, welcome to the round table. So, let's get you the rank upgrade on the Discord. So now your name is going to appear in a light purple. Well, first we need to find you. Hold on. We gotta find you somewhere. Where are you at? There you are. No, you need to be on my server. Just a second. I really want to do it before I forget, because we really need to get this done. Quickly. Oh yeah, there you are. Right. There we go. Welcome to the round table once again. As of today, you are now a made man. And you're welcome. Oh, throat pouch of Tarbosaurus batar. Yeah, that has been quite a hot topic, hasn't it, Tayama-san? It was. No, but all jokes aside, I think that what it was really was something very similar to the sort of throat thickness that you have on crocodiles, because there was no actual evidence to indicate anything that is related to inflatable kind of tissue. There was nothing like that. So at best, I would say it's just the thickness in the neck, because similarly to how crocodiles probably did it, I suspect that theropods did not really chew their meat properly. They would have probably swallowed it whole, whatever they would bite. Tarbosaurus, as many other theropods of that sort of family, they had quite big heads, big jaws especially, and they could bite a lot of meat. And I think they would have needed something like that to be able to swallow. That's the best way I can put it. But again, you ask for my opinion, I give you my opinion. What I know for a fact, though, the fact is that we don't have any evidence for anything in terms of the, inflatable structure, so you can pretty much forget that. But if there was anything present, my personal suggestion is that it would have just been a thickness on the throat. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I wish Jeffrey was here as well to celebrate with us, but I think he's probably too busy doing it with his family, because he's got kids and stuff like that. So he'll probably be occupied. But I'm so happy that I have Toyama-san here as well, because now I can, at least whenever I'm going to be learning some Japanese things, I could actually practice. That would be really great. Of course, if Toyama-san doesn't mind. but yeah. Well, definitely, once I pick up the language a bit better, me, Jeffrey, and maybe Toyama-san, and we can invite somebody else, like a specialist, maybe like an artist from Japan, or maybe if we find any paleontologist from Japan, we can invite him. And there is a Japanese guy working in Canada right now in Dino Lab, I believe. So we can invite him perhaps. And yeah, once I get on a level, we will all speak Japanese and put the subtitles in. So let me know if you would like to see something like that. So that would be very interesting to do. That would be quite interesting. There would be actual Japanese guys there, but it would also be, an American and British Armenian speaking Japanese. Hey, ¿cómo estás? How do you? My God, I forgot how to say in Spanish. Do you have to go to work tomorrow? I know that working or to work is trabajo. That's the one I remember, but I can't remember how to properly ask the question. I mean, I also, of course, I know bad words. I know bad words in Japanese as well, but I'm not going to say them because I don't want to embarrass myself too much. But in Spanish, by the way, since you're a Spanish speaker and there may be other people who will know this, I drive, well, you'll probably know where it's going to go, but you know Mitsubishi, right? It's obviously very, very well-known brand of Japanese vehicles, cars, and I drive a Mitsubishi, and I have a 1997 Mitsubishi Pajero Evo. It's a great car, but the funny thing is that in Spanish, the way you spell it in Latin, Pajero, it's actually spoken as, well, as pajero. Pajero means wanker, basically. So that's why I'm never going to Spain on this car, just because they're gonna be pointing at me, be like, pajero, pajero, pajero. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm glad that I found out, by the way, because who knows what would have happened if I did that. Yeah. They say T-Rex would have made a rumbling sound that vibrates. I mean, they say a lot of things, you never know. Until you find something tangible to test it, your guess will be as good as mine and everyone else's. So I can say, for example, that it would have made a variety of sounds because, well, crocodilians and birds make a variety of sounds. Crocodilians specifically, they make hissing sounds that if you multiply the magnitude, my God, that's going to be terrifying to hear it from something like a T-Rex. But hissing probably is going to be a common thing. Maybe kind of growling sort of thing, similar to how crocodiles and alligators do it, but not like roaring, screaming the lungs out. I don't expect that to be a thing. I don't even know if they were particularly vocal at all times anyway, so we'll see. I mean, I'm just trying to think what is it going to take to find something to actually be able to test it? Like, what do we have to find? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like reptilian sounds. Because you notice that they are not really as vocal, but it depends though. Like, look at tokay geckos, for example. Not only are they absolutely biggest assholes of all reptiles, probably that I've ever known, but they make sounds. They bark at you as well, and they also, in fact, I think tokay. Toyama-san will be able to tell us. Is it Is toke? I think it's a toke or something like that. I'm not sure. I think that's either alarm or a clock, something like that. It's either alarm clock or a clock of some kind. I think that's what it is. Yeah. So that's probably where I think it got the nickname Tokei Gecko, because I think Toke in Japanese is an alarm clock or a clock. I think that's what it is. So, Tarbosaurus colorations would vary between individuals. Yeah, I actually tend to be more in favor of this idea because, as I said before, the environments would have been quite variable, and if they spend long enough time in a certain environment and then they move to a different environment, reptiles in general, who have scaly animals, generally they have a tendency to shed their skin and then grow back a different pattern. Well, maybe pattern might be the same, but the color palette might be different, slightly. They can sometimes adjust. Not always, but they do it. So yeah, it will be interesting to observe this, if this was, ever a real thing. Now we just have to find the Tarbosaurus. So have fun. Have fun looking for one. Yep, that's pretty much, I think it would have been. Hisses, growling, maybe something else. Maybe some kind of snorting, or could be some other weird, crazy shit. I don't know. Like, until you actually find a real life animal of that type, you would never know what sort of things they do. Look, again, I like to cite the example of a tokay gecko, because if you just found the skeleton of a tokay gecko and you would know for a fact that it's a tokay gecko, chances are you would not even call it a tokay gecko, because you wouldn't know that it makes those sounds, which is what it was named after. So how crazy is that? Finish the bottle. Okay, ladies and gents, gentlemen and ladies, shall we call it a night now, because it's over 2 hours? So I think what I want to do is end this stream, because I want to keep it, reasonable length. But once again, anybody, whoever showed up, and even those who have already left, thanks for coming. That was really nice to catch up. I'm hoping to be able to produce more content. I seem to have already gotten some good requests, so that's good enough to start with, to do like the painting tutorial and things like that. That's something I definitely want to do. And well, of course, producing more other kind of content that we do on the channel in the traditions. Then, to recap as well, we've got John getting promoted, and Tyrant's Domain, this guy, after his hard work. So everybody else, look at this if you want to also eventually, become part of the crew, so to speak. You can get a promotion by contributing a lot, and just observe what these guys do and just do as they do, and you'll eventually get there. So the more the merrier, how they say. Yeah, I'm gonna. That's part of the reason why I also want to go, because I'm actually starving. I really feel like I want to eat. But anyway, thanks very much for coming. Thanks for subscribing, the new ones, and also Toyama-san, arigatou gozaimasu. Thanks very much for coming. It was nice to talk to you as well. And I'll see you guys later. It's going to be lots of things to come. Anyway, bye everyone. And if you're new, of course, to the channel, if this is the first video that you watch, make sure you subscribe and, of course, press the like button. Until then, ciao. Bye-bye. That's the button.